us move to the next concept, that is nothing but area of a triangle. So generally we know that from the elementary classes, that is area of a triangle, it is nothing but half into base into height. So this is the general formula which we have already came across until now. But how we are going to find the area of a triangle when with the help of this cross product? Let us observe here. Suppose let vector A and vector B, if these two represents two adjacent sides of a triangle, means if these two vector A and vector B representing two adjacent sides of a triangle, that is, suppose if I call this is as vector A and this one as vector B, and this is as our triangle ABC, where vector A and vector B are representing our two adjacent sides of a triangle, and let theta be the angle between vector A and vector B. So it is angle between vector A and vector B. So as usual, generally we know that area of a triangle, it is nothing but half into base into height. So height, if I draw a perpendicular from the point A which forms perpendicular to the base, then I will call this one as D. Then AD will be the height of this triangle. So what will be our base? Half into base it is nothing but BC, and it is vector BC, and not vector BC, I am calling it as just BC, and our height it is nothing but into AD. It is not cross, it is multiplication symbol, don't confuse with the multiplication symbol and cross. So half into base into height. So now observe here, what is vector BC? What is vector BC? It is vector A. So we need only the magnitude, that is BC. So it is nothing but magnitude of vector A. And what is our AD? Consider the to know what is the AD, consider the triangle ABD. In that triangle ABD we are having theta. So what is sin theta? Sin theta, it is nothing but opposite by hypotenuse. What is opposite? AD divided by hypotenuse, that is nothing but AB. What we required? We required AD. So AD is equal to AB sin theta. So what is AB? It is nothing but magnitude of vector B sin theta. So you got what is BC value as well as AD value. So substitute the value of BC and AD in this equation. I will call it as star. Substitute the value of this one and AD in the star. That is nothing but half into, what is BC? It is magnitude of vector A. What is AD? Magnitude of vector B sin theta. So what is magnitude of vector A? Magnitude of vector B sin theta. Clearly it is nothing but magnitude of vector A cross vector B, because we already came across vector A cross vector B, it is nothing but magnitude of vector A, magnitude of vector B sin theta n cap. If we take the magnitude of vector A cross vector B, it is nothing but magnitude of vector A, magnitude of vector B. The value of sin theta, it is depending upon the angle theta. So magnitude of n cap, it will be 1. So magnitude of vector A, magnitude of vector B into sin theta, it will be nothing but magnitude of vector A cross B. So this will be equal to magnitude of vector A cross B. So area of triangle, it is given by half into magnitude of vector A cross B. So this is the formula to find the area of a triangle with the help of cross product. Suppose if they asked us to find the area of triangle whose coordinate of the triangle, that is given by A 1 1 1 and B 1 2 3 and C it is 2 3 1. They have given the three coordinate of a triangle ABC and asked us to find the area. So how it will be? this will be triangle our ABC, where A is 1 1 1, B is 1 2 3 and C is 2 3 1. So what is our vector A and vector B here? These two are adjacent sides of a triangle. So before we are using this formula, we need to find any two adjacent side. So I will consider that two adjacent side as vector AB and vector BC. So I will find these two adjacent side. So when we given 2 points, how we are going to find vector AB? It is nothing but 1 minus 1, 0 I cap, 2 minus 1, it is nothing but 1 j cap, 3 minus 1, 2 k cap. So it is nothing but j cap plus 2 k cap. It is our vector AB. Now I need vector BC. So 2 minus 1, 1 I cap, 3 minus 2 plus j cap, 1 minus 3 minus 2 k cap. So it is nothing but I cap plus j cap minus 2 k cap. So now we got the two adjacent side, that is vector AB and vector BC. So when we got two adjacent side, then we have formula area of the triangle ABC is equal to half into magnitude of vector AB cross vector BC. So to get the magnitude of this cross product, first let us find what is vector AB cross vector BC. So it is nothing but first row I cap, j cap, k cap. Second row the component of first vector, that is AB vector, it is I cap, it is 0 0 1 2. What about the third row? Components of second vector 1 1 minus 2. So it will be nothing but I am expanding along the first row, I cap minus 2 minus 2 minus j cap, it is nothing but 0 minus 2 plus k cap, it is nothing but 0 minus 1. So minus 2 minus 4 I cap, minus of minus plus 2 j cap, it is nothing but minus k cap. So we got vector AB cross BC, vector BC is equal to minus 4 I cap plus 2j cap minus k cap. But what we need the magnitude of this vector. So magnitude of AB vector cross BC vector, it is nothing but square root of minus 4 square plus 2 square plus minus 1 square. It is nothing but square root of 16 plus 4 plus 1. It is nothing but root 21. We got magnitude of vector AB cross vector BC. But what is the area of triangle? Half of this one. So that is nothing but 1 by 2 root 21 square unit. So this is the area of a triangle when three coordinates are given. So first we need to find any two adjacent side. It might be any two. Here I found out AB and BC. Even you can find AB and AC or AC and BC. Any two adjacent side it's possible. So finding the any two adjacent side using the formula. That's all. So this is how we are dealing with the area of triangle. So the next is area of parallelogram. So area of parallelogram, it can be understood in the two ways. So one way, this is the diagram which I have already considered while explaining area of a triangle. So you might have remember. So this is the diagram. With the help of this itself, we can get the area of parallelogram also. Another method is similar to the area of a triangle. So how we are going? The first way is, you can see here the triangle ABC, and where the BC is our vector A and AB is our vector B. Suppose if I draw, since it is a free vector space, this vector BC, I can take the vector A similarly here. So this is also equal to vector A, which is parallel to BC. And similarly here, if I take, this is nothing but our vector B. I will call this one as E. Now you can see A is similar to the vector BC, which is in the same direction as the vector BC. Similarly, C is also nothing but vector B, which is similar to the direction, same magnitude and same direction. So AE is equal to BC and AB is equal to C, both in magnitude and direction. So clearly AECB is a parallelogram. So we know that this what ABC, it is nothing but the area of a triangle. If I flip this triangle in this direction, if I flip this in this direction, means we are going to get nothing but this triangle. So we already know the area of this triangle, it is nothing but half into magnitude of vector A cross vector B. We know this one. So this area is also equal to this area, similar, because if you didn't get, means you can see here. I consider the triangle AEC. If I consider the triangle AEC, again half into base into height. So what is our base here? Again base is nothing but our magnitude of vector A. Height of this triangle, as I said, I flipped this one. So height of this triangle is same as this triangle, means in the previous we had height, it will be nothing but magnitude of vector B sin theta. So it is nothing but half into magnitude of vector A cross vector B. So area of this triangle is equal to area of this triangle. So area of the parallelogram AEBC, it will be nothing but half of vector A cross vector B, that is the area of this triangle, plus half of area of this triangle, that is also vector A cross vector B. So it is nothing but half of 1, so it is nothing but vector A cross vector B. So area of this parallelogram is given by magnitude of vector A cross vector B. So this is one way of explanation which I explained on the basis of area of triangle. So another way is nothing but similar to the how I explained area of a triangle. Suppose vector A and vector B represents two adjacent sides of the parallelogram. If it represents two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, suppose if I consider this one as a parallelogram, that is AB, CD, and this represents the vector A and this represents the vector B, where AB and AD are the two adjacent sides of the parallelogram. So if these two are adjacent sides, and DE, it is nothing but height of the parallelogram, means generally we know area of parallelogram is equal to base into height. We already know this formula. So what is base here? It is nothing but AB. What is height? It is nothing but DE. Now I'll take this one as star. So what is AB? It is nothing but magnitude of vector A. So what is DE? To find out DE, consider the triangle ADE. So I'll consider the triangle ADE. So in this triangle, this is 90 degree. Let theta be the angle between vector A and vector B. So what happens? Here sin theta is equal to opposite by hypotenuse. So sin theta, what is opposite? It is nothing but DE. Hypotenuse, it is AD. So what we required here, DE is equal to AD sin theta. So what is AD? It is nothing but magnitude of vector B sin theta. So we got now AB as well as DE. Substitute the value here. What is AB? Magnitude of vector A. What is DE? Magnitude of vector B sin theta. So it is nothing but what? Magnitude of vector A cross vector B. So area of parallelogram is nothing but magnitude of vector A cross vector B. This is how we are going to get the area of a parallelogram with the help of cross product. So the one method is extension of the area of a triangle. Just flipping twice the area of a triangle will give the area of parallelogram. Another way is similar, followed with the basic formula, that is area of parallelogram is equal to base into height. Similar way of process. Now suppose if they have given any two adjacent sides if they have given any two adjacent sides of parallelogram and asked us to find the area of a parallelogram, means generally area of parallelogram is equal to magnitude of vector A cross vector B, because the given itself adjacent side. So to get the magnitude, first you need to find what is vector A cross B. So first row I cap, K cap, I cap, J cap, K cap. Second row components of first vector, that is 3, 1, 4. B, third row it is the component of second vector 1, minus 1, 1. So now expanding along the first row, I cap 1 plus 4 minus J cap, it is nothing but 3 minus 4 plus K cap, it is nothing but minus 3 minus 1. So it is nothing but 5 I cap, minus into minus, here minus 1 minus 1 minus minus, plus J cap minus 4 K cap. So it is nothing but our vector A cross vector B, 5 I cap plus J cap minus 4 K cap. But we needed magnitude of this vector. So magnitude of this vector is nothing but square root of 5 square plus 1 square minus 4 square. It is nothing but 25 plus 1 plus 16. It is nothing but root 42. So area of a parallelogram is root 42 square units. So this is how we got the area of a parallelogram when they have given you any two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. Suppose if they have given you any two adjacent sides of a parallelogram and said you to find the area of a triangle, means first find the area of the parallelogram, then just half of the area of parallelogram is nothing but area of the square. Sorry, not square, area of the triangle. So remember, suppose if they have given any two adjacent sides of a parallelogram and asked you to find the area of a triangle. Area of the triangle means first find area of the parallelogram as usual. Once you got the area of the parallelogram, means half of the area of the parallelogram is nothing but area of the triangle. This is how we can get the area of a triangle with the help of two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. So remember, this one of the parallel way of solving the or getting the area of a triangle. So here is one of the property, that is nothing but distributive of vector product over addition. Suppose vector A, vector B, vector C be any three vectors and lambda be any scalar, means then vector A cross vector B plus vector C, it is equal to vector A cross vector B plus vector A cross vector C. So this is the property it is saying. Or else suppose if we multiply any scalar to the cross product, that is vector A cross vector B, this is equal to first multiplying scalar to any vector and then taking the cross product, or it is also equal to multiplying that scalar to any one of the vector and then taking the cross product. So these are the distributive property of a vector product over addition. So there is one of the exercise problem in the related to this sector. There they have given the component of three vectors, that is a1 I cap, a2 j cap, a3 k cap, and vector B is equal to b1 I cap, b2 j cap and b3 k cap, and vector C is equal to c1 I cap, c2 j cap and c3 k cap, and asked us to verify or show that the first property, that is vector A cross vector B plus vector C is equal to vector A cross vector B plus vector A cross vector C. So here I'll consider LHS first, that is vector A cross vector B plus vector C. So what is vector B plus vector C? First, so we are not having this one, right? So first let us find what is vector B plus vector C. So it is nothing but B1 plus C1 I cap plus B2 plus C2 j cap plus B3 plus C3 k cap. So this is our B plus vector C. So now we need to take the cross product of these two vectors. So that is nothing but I cap, j cap, k cap. Second row components of first vector, that is a1, a2, a3. Third row component of the second, this is b plus c. Component of the second vector, it is nothing but b1 plus c1, b2 plus c2, b3 plus c3. Now I am expanding this one along the first row, that is I cap a2 into b2 plus c3 minus a3 into b2 plus c2 minus j cap, again here a1 b3 plus c3, a1 b3 plus c3 minus a3 b1 plus c1 plus k cap, expanding, so a1 b2 plus c2 minus a2 b1 plus c1. Now I am expanding this one, I cap a2 b2 plus a2 c3, not c3, it is a2 b2, first one I cap a2, it is not b3 c3. So a2 b3 and a2 c3, and here minus a3 b2 minus a3 c2. This is the component of I cap. Next, minus j cap a1 b3 plus a1 c3 minus a3 b1 minus a3 c1. This is the component of j cap. K cap a1 b2 plus a1 c2 minus a2 b1 minus a2 c1. So this is the component of j cap. So we got, this is the LHS is nothing but a vector A cross vector B plus vector C. I will call this one as equation 1. We solved the LHS. What are there in our RHS? We need to find our RHS, vector A cross vector B plus vector A cross vector C. We need to find this one. First let us find vector A cross B, then vector A cross B, A cross C, then sum of the two vectors. So first thing, vector A cross vector B, it is nothing but I cap, j cap, k cap. Vector A is nothing but A1, component of vector A1, A2, A3. Component of vector B, B1, B2, B3. So expanding along the first row, I cap is equal to a2 b3 minus a3 b2 minus j cap, it is nothing but a1 b3 minus a3 b1, and k plus k cap is equal to a1 b2 minus a2 b1. So let it be our equation 2. This is nothing but vector A cross vector B. So similarly we can find vector A cross vector C. So first row I cap, j cap, k cap. Second row the component of first vector. Third row component of second vector. Expanded along the first row, we got vector A cross vector C. So this is our vector A cross vector B, which we have already found out. Vector A cross vector B, this is our vector A cross vector C. So but what we required in the RHS, the sum of these two vectors. So now we need to add the corresponding components. So first is I cap. So components are nothing but a2 b3 minus a3 b2 plus a2 c3 minus a3 c2 plus minus j cap. I am taking minus itself outside. So sum of these two vectors, that is a1 b3 minus a3 b1 plus a1 c3 minus a3 c1 plus k cap, it is nothing but sum of these two, a1 b2 minus a2 b1 plus a1 c2 minus a2 c1. Suppose I will call this one as our equation 4 means. Now comparing, and this one as equation 3 suppose. Now comparing equation 4 with this equation 1, where was here it was equation 1. You, by comparing the corresponding I cap minus j cap and k cap components, from comparing 1 and 4, we can directly say that vector A cross vector B plus vector C is equal to vector A cross vector B plus vector A cross vector C. So this is how we are going to prove that distributivity property. Now let us move to the difference between the dot product and cross product of any two vectors. So first thing, the definition itself, vector A dot vector B is nothing but magnitude of vector A, magnitude of vector B, cos theta. What was our definition of cross product? Vector A cross vector B is equal to magnitude of vector A, magnitude of vector B, sin theta n cap. And the next is clearly the dot product, it is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity. But cross product, it is what? It is the vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. Suppose if vector A dot vector B is equal to 0 means, then we are having two possibilities. Either vector A is equal to 0 vector, or vector B is equal to 0 vector, or what? Our theta here, or a theta is equal to pi by 2, that is 90 degree. Again here, the cross product, vector A cross vector B is equal to 0 vector. Here also we are having two possibilities. Either our vector A is equal to 0 vector, or vector B is equal to 0 vector. Suppose it is a non-zero vector means, then theta is equal to 0 degree or theta is equal to 180 degree. And the next is, the thing which we came across was here, I cap dot I cap, j cap dot j cap is equal to k cap dot k cap, it was equal to 1, and I cap dot j cap is equal to j cap dot k cap is equal to k cap dot I cap, it was is equal to 0. But here it was 4, but here I cap cross I cap, j cap cross j cap and k cap cross k cap, it was equal to 0 vector. It was equal to 0 vector. But I cap cross j cap, it was equal to k cap, and j cap cross k cap, it was equal to I cap, and k cap cross I cap is equal to j cap, which was followed with one of the cycle. If you remember the cycle, other three thing also we can be done. So this is the next difference. The next is angle between any two vectors when two vectors are given. So that is given by cos theta is equal to vector A dot vector B divided by magnitude of vector A, magnitude of vector B. Here the angle between two vectors, it is given by sin theta is equal to magnitude of vector A cross vector B divided by magnitude of vector A, magnitude of vector B. And the next is here vector A dot vector B is equal to vector B dot vector A, because they are commutative. But here vector A cross vector B is equal to negative times of vector B cross vector A. Along with this, in the cross product we have also came across the area of triangle, which is equal to half of vector A cross vector B, where A and B are the adjacent sides of a triangle, and area of parallelogram, which is nothing but magnitude of vector A cross vector B. So these are the two important things which we studied under the cross product. But here we have studied about Cauchy-Schwarz inequalities and triangular inequality, but it is not coming under the dot product. It is just giving the relation, but here these two coming under the cross product itself. So these are the major difference between the dot product and cross product. So this is regarding the cross product and some of the things covered under the cross product. Suppose if you have any doubts regarding these things means you can ask me at the any time. If you didn't get any concept means please rewind it and go through it once again. Suppose even if you didn't get after rewinding means you can ask me at any time. Thank you students.